We went through 3 ownerships in 3 years. Three years in a row. So not a whole lot of stability, and it hurt the players on the ice, and you know, sometimes everybody, you know, teams say, well, I don't know if we're going to get our paycheck this week, and it was pretty tough for a while.
You know, we had been through some very lean times. We had a couple of prospects that were coming out of college and junior that we just couldn't afford to sign. We went through a bankruptcy at that time, but Mr. Anshutz came in and he honored every dollar that was owed on the hockey side. When we had our first meetings with the Anshutz people and actually with Tim Lywicki, it was evident that they had a long-term plan for the organization.
And at the time, I was checking into Phoenix because my contract was up here and the Coyotes were moving to Phoenix, and I thought, I'm going to see what's out there. And Tim said, you're not going to Phoenix. We want you to be here.
You know, Mr. Anshutz came in, and, you know, Tim, and a lot of good people behind, and now it's been a great franchise, and it's stable. That's what you need.
With Mr. Anshutz and his group that came in, it was night and day. It was, what do you need to do your job?
The stability is there. And as I look back on, the Kings have had probably more first-round draft choices in the 7-8 years Dave has been general manager as they did in the previous 30 years, the first 30 years of the franchise. And that can only mean good things ahead.
Andy, in my 28 years in the National Hockey League, is the best all-around hockey coach that I've seen in every aspect of the game. Andy has a knack of getting the best out of his players every night.
And you know, it's right up here, Kings hockey, all out all the time, and we live by that. We live by that.
You know, I pinch myself every day when I come to work. I really, really enjoy what I'm doing. I think we're building a great club here, and I'm always grateful for the opportunity.
The hockey gods owe the Kings some health. There's no question about that. No question about that. And if they give it to the Kings, look out.
When you have a good team and you have good ownership, and when you play here in Los Angeles, there's no other place to play. This is it.
So the best thing that we have in our sport is the character of our players.
Hockey players are first team guys. That is bred into you at a young age.
Of all the tough guys in the league, when they're off the ice, they are the most polite, calmest, nicest people you'd want to be around.
If you look at hockey, it's probably the toughest sport. And to win the cup is probably the toughest achievement that in any sport. You know, you hide your injuries because you say, well, I gotta go. Well, you don't see that in any other sport. It's just incredible. But it's a tradition.
It starts out with not wanting to let the other guys down. And then it just becomes a mental toughness that you almost challenge yourself night in and night out.
Players are so whacked up, you know, banged up, it's unbelievable. But they manage to come and play. That's what separates them from the other sports.
Well, we have a sense of humbleness in our sport, which is nice. It's a sincere humbleness, too, in that a player understands the unselfishness you need in a team concept to be successul.
The joking and the camaraderie and the sense of family within the locker room. It's almost like being in a foxhole. Every guy in this room you'd want to be in a foxhole with.
When you walk in that locker room, you're taught by the older players to handle yourself with courtesy and etiquette and respect. And the guys that aren't like that are weeded out really quickly. And if they don't change, they're gone.
Everything is tradition in hockey. Hockey is a tradition.
The uniqueness is not only do you win the cup, but each and every guy gets their name imprinted forever on the Stanley Cup. And I was a Hockey Hall of Fame junkie as a kid. Would go and stare at pictures and trophies. And now when I go to the Hall of Fame, one of the first things I always do is I always go look to that 1984 Stanley Cup championship when we won our first cup and look for my name. It's quite a thrill still.